welcome back to Whole Lotta with your boys, Nathan and
Juice Dan.
the man on the juice.
Yes, sir. And this is going to be a juicy episode. We're going to be juicing it up a bit.
On the juice.
Oh, yeah.
Juice.
We're going to be doing steroids.
Juice.
Different types of steroids. So the first one we're starting with...
on the juice.
Yeah, we're starting with Tren. We're
in Planet Fitness Live. No Pain, No Gain? That's me.
Isn't that the movie with the... yeah, that's with literally man.
And
yeah, we're on the gear right now.
What are we
doing? Oh, we're doing different types of apples. Four different types of apples.
So we got iPhone 11, earpods. Now we're doing real apples, the ones that make doctors quiver.
Yes. What's our first one?
It's Cosmic.
Cosmic Crisp. Yeah, never heard of this. But let's try it. Let's dig into it. Smells like an apple. I quite like this.
It has a good crunch to it. Justin cut these apples up about 6 days ago and left them in his car. So
shout out to my girlfriend. We used her cutter tool. Love you. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. It's got a good taste to it. Is it good? Well, it's not too mushy. Some apples are a little too mushy, but this one's
I
like a good crunch.
I like a crunchier apple. It's I don't remember what a basic red apple tastes like. I haven't eaten a Red Delicious in a long time, but I feel like it tastes something similar to this. It's nice and sweet.
We probably should have started with the Red Delicious.
Yeah, we probably should have, but these are the four that caught my eye. So
this is good. I like this. It's got like a little bit of it's sweet, but it's got a little bit of a sourness to it.
Yeah, but not like crazy. It's
just like a good,
definitely more sweet.
Good enough to change up the flavor.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and eat as many of these as I can. So you're gonna be hearing a lot of chewing. Sorry. All right. Well, I'm inclined, for some reason, I don't know why, to put this at number one.
No, because I don't usually agree with you. But I agree with you right now. Put this at number one.
Excellent choice, my darling. So what are we talking about? I didn't even start the timer. Whoops, whatever. Fine. Start it now.
So me and Justin, if you've been following the podcast, we brought up a while ago that Studio Ghibli Fest has started.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode we brought it up, but
it was about 2 episodes ago now.
Yeah, probably, roughly.
But so we missed the Totoro one.
Oh, damn. I'm so upset. I cannot believe that we missed I'll never be able to sleep at night.
I know, you don't usually sleep at night anyways. But
I don't. That's actually
we did get out and we saw Spirited Away. Like a live action version that they did in Japan. They filmed it.
Yeah.
And they put that in the theaters in the United States, and we saw that today.
Not to be confused with like a live action movie. It's a play.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's a play. That's what it's a play, like kind of like a Broadway play.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, speaking to it, I guess I'll start this. They played a total of 4 times. The first 2 times. The last 2 times had different actors. So we saw the second of the 2 actors.
Was the whole cast different, or was it just the lady at the lead role?
When I was looking at it, they only said the leading role. The one we saw, if I'm remembering it and read it correctly, she was like the backup one, the understudy for the other main actress. I guess they let her do it at least one of the days. which
Okay.
I think is fair. She did a good job
Yeah,
though.
that's yeah. I had no problems with her. I thought she did a pretty good job.
Yeah. There's
Okay, well,
like pros and
no, you,
cons between the two that I want to bring up real fast. The other one was a more established actor. She might have been a little better, not that I would be able to tell the difference, but the one we saw looked younger, so I think she fit the role better. And something I didn't bring up with Justin yet, but she had like this good facial expression that I felt really conveyed the scene well and like got
mhm.
over like what they're trying to push, like showed the proper emotion for what was happening.
Yeah, she had like a mixture of like pure like I'm lost and confused, but also very curious and excited, all mixed into like one facial expression. She did a very good job.
That's what I was trying to say. All I could think of was like,
Mm.
she had like a face of a woeful glee and a
That works.
whimsical nonsense is happening.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but
You're not wrong.
overall, I thought it was pretty amazing what they were able to do on one stage.
I agree. I agree. These are all, by the way, fresh thoughts we purposely didn't talk about. We just saw this,
They
like
just
not
got back
even an
from
hour
seeing
ago.
it, and
Yeah.
I think the one thing that always amazes me with these Broadway plays is the set design and how they're able to do
Yes.
so much with so little space, especially because even like there were plays my high school did that I was like, this is, I mean, look, I get it's not the best, but I'm still pretty amazed we were able to do this with like a high
Mm.
school budget on this stage. Like, this is pretty cool that they were able to do this. And then seeing
Yeah.
a big production and the way they had it set up, where they had like spinning sets and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was sick.
It was so awesome. Just how they were able to get so many different sceneries with what they had.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was my favorite part of the entire thing was the
Yeah.
set design. Not only did it look good, but the way they were able to change from scene to scene was absolutely seamless. And sometimes it was so seamless. And this was actually a problem that I had in the beginning, which I was not having a good time in the beginning, and I'll get to that in a minute. This was one of the contributing factors. Sometimes the scene transitions were so seamless, I literally couldn't tell if we were in another scene or the scene that before, and I got really confused because again, it was so seamless. I was like, "Wait, what's huh? Did we change what's going on?" But my brain caught up to it
I think I
eventually.
get what you're saying because I think the first time they were doing that, I had to orientate myself. But
Hmm.
after the first time, I thought I was usually able to keep up with it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a couple tries to orient my brain or whatever. So, um, great sets. I love the way they cycled through. Yeah, the sets, like the main parts of the sets, spun like a lazy Susan or like a carousel, and they could just spin it to the next part of
There's
the
just
scene.
so much detail in the set pieces
Hmm.
too. It really felt like it was a bathhouse for the 8 million gods or whatever. And
Hmm.
the
Now, of course, I'm sorry I cut you off.
oh,
What were you
so
saying?
now what were you gonna say?
As good as the set design is, you'll never, unfortunately, be able to recreate the incredible, stunning visuals of the rest of the town,
Yeah,
the outside of the bathhouse, even stuff inside the
yeah.
bathhouse. But for what they could do, incredible.
I was gonna say at the I was gonna say for the end, but it fits in here. I think from what I remember of the schedule, they did a good job of spacing these two
Oh,
with like
excuse
the
me.
live acts and like Broadway play. Then when they're playing the actual animated one, I feel like there's gonna be enough distance where it's like, all right, I still remember watching the live action Broadway play, but I forgot and I about enough of it, and there's enough distance for when I go to watch it animated again, that I'm still going to just have a good time. I think they did a good job with that scheduling.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
back,
not the live action.
back to the thing. The costume designs were great too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Very, very good. Um,
the like
what was I gonna
the
say?
spider dude that works in the boiler
Oh,
room.
that was sick. Yeah, Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, I did think he looked exactly like Eggman when I first saw him.
Yeah, he really, really, really did. Yeah, excellent job. The fat guy that was you,
Yeah,
my
that
favorite
the fat
character.
dude that she goes on the elevator with.
Best character in the entire movie. Oh,
They did a good
instant
job
classic.
with the witches too.
Yeah, they looked great.
I thought it was a good transition for such a weird looking character.
And I love what they did for when she would freak out. When she would
Oh
freak out and
yeah,
like, and her face in the movie, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, she freaks out and she just turns into a giant head version of herself. And every time that happened in the play, all the stagehands would run out and stand in front of her, and each stagehand had a different part of the head, and they would just hold it together and move around. It was super cool.
and like the way it moved too, just added like an kind of like an airy like atmosphere and feel to the way it looked.
Yeah,
Like,
because it wasn't perfect.
yeah, there was something about it that like they were really able to get that correct. I feel like.
I completely agree. Yeah, all the costumes were great. I thought I told you this in the car. The chick that played Lynn,
Yeah, Ellen.
right? Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, she's pretty.
She's just really easy on my eyes.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to the person that played the faceless whatever the hell
Oh yeah,
it was
that
called.
guy. Oh,
The
that's
chick that
something
was-
else. I'm glad you reminded me. Not to
Mhm.
cut you off,
No.
but I like the Fateless one in this one because in the movie, he's kind of like moves around a little stiffly, but in this one, he's always like dancing, like just
Yeah,
having the time of his life or something. I was like, oh, that's cool. This guy, he'd be cool
Yeah.
to party with. This one.
I never remember that happening in the movie. From what I can remember, he just kind of floats around. But in this one, he kind of like he like twitches around, and yeah, it's like he's dancing. They did a fantastic job. They hired like a contortionist or something.
I think it was
Great
like
job.
a ballet dancer.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't like how, and I don't remember if this was in the movie or not. She didn't really say goodbye to him. She kind of just left.
Yeah, I didn't really like that either. But in this
Yeah.
one, I can't remember the movie either. But she didn't say goodbye to him. I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But whatever, I guess. I mean,
She just kind of left.
Yeah.
So let me briefly touch on my unfortunate beginning. To the first like 30, 40 minutes of what we watched, because we missed about 30, 40 minutes, unfortunately. I was having an awful time. I didn't like it either because of how awful of an experience I was having. I sat down and for whatever reason, I got really tired. Like, and I'm still feeling it now. Not as bad. I just got hit with this ungodly wave of exhaustion. Then my stomach felt weird. And like, so I was in pain. I was tired. And then I started like watching. And because my brain was like exhausted and focused on my stomach, when I first saw the stagehands, I don't know, for whatever reason, it really threw me off guard. And I was like, this is breaking my immersion. I can't believe they would do this. But then I'm like, well, it's a play. How the hell else are they going to do it? And then my brain was able to just realize you're watching a play, dumbass, not a movie. But in the beginning, I don't know, for whatever reason, it really threw off my brain. And then another thing that set in too, I really kind of wish I watched actual Spirited Away before I saw this, because it's been over 6 or 7 years, probably
so it's
since.
been a while since I saw that animated one, and I kind of wish they just reversed the order. Because I would have liked to have seen the animated one first.
Yeah, I really like. I get it. Say the best for last, but I really think they should have done that, because I had a great time after I woke up and my brain realized you're watching a play, not a movie, and like things started to make sense to me. I did have a good time, but I felt like I could have had a much better time if I understood like the little nuances of like some of the stuff that they were doing, but I couldn't because I don't remember majority of the small details.
Like, for me, I kind of get what you're saying though. At least with not having a good time, because I don't know why I got in there for the entire film. I just was not able to get comfortable. Yeah, I had like a
Yeah.
stomach ache.
Yeah.
And like I just couldn't tell. Like I just thought the movie, as great as like the acting was, the set designs, the costume designs, great as all that stuff was. I wasn't sure I was really actually thought it was that interesting. Like I'm not sure I was just bored or it was like I was just not in the mood to sit and try
I,
and watch a movie at that point.
yeah. I don't think we were in the right mood or headspace due to whatever the hell was
Yeah, I
happening
have
with our
no
bodies
idea what was
and the
happening.
fact and the fact that we really should have watched it. It would have helped so much more. I'd be down to watch the play again somehow after I
I
watch
wonder
or
if
we
they'll do
watch the
something
movie.
for that because I do think it is worth putting the play out there for people that want to watch it.
Yeah, it's great. Like this needs to be shown more in America. I think this is the first time
I
it's ever
feel
been
like
shown in America.
I didn't talk to anybody in the audience. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't just walk around talking to these weebs. But the people, from what I overheard, because I'll sit in the back and just listen to their conversations like a weirdo instead, it sounded like everybody just enjoyed the film and nobody really had a bad time with it. So
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Everyone had a really good time, and there were some like older people there. I was kind of.
so that's weird ways. Kind of just
I mean, it is
recurred
old.
it. Okay, yeah.
Well, it's not that old. It's like 20. When did it come out? Early 2000s, right?
I think like maybe somewhere between 01 and 03, maybe 04.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Oh,
Spirited Away is regarded as a good film as a whole. I would say so.
oh yeah, that's fantastic.
You know what else is
Love it.
good?
Wait, before we can transition, I just have one more thing to say.
Okay.
I know this is probably something I should save from when we actually watch it, but I don't want to wait. I'm curious. What is the message of this story? I can't quite figure it out because every time I feel like I watch a Ghibli film, I feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like it kind of just things happen and it's pointless. But this one, it does not feel pointless, but I can't grasp what the message is. Probably something with your family or your parents and
Now, I'll be honest. I don't know. Well, either maybe. Like,
yeah.
I think it's like a transition. I feel like there's a lot of little messages like
Yeah.
not succumbing to your greed.
Yeah.
Not like just looking out for people type of thing. I think it's like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like some type of metaphor for like young adults entering into the maturity of adulthood or something like that. That's all I could.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure. There's
all right.
really
One last question. What was I don't really understand Ghostface's obsession with Chihiro. I never got that.
So
Why did he
I
just get
think
like
it's just because he was the
lonely?
only one that was ever nice to him and acknowledged him. Really.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Okay. I'm done. We can move on.
All right, we'll talk more about Spirited Away in a few months.
In October. But what else are we talking about? What's next?
Apples.
Yes.
I need to grab my apples.
Which one? Granny?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pause or keep going?
No,
Oh,
it's fine.
okay.
Just you do your thing.
You want it?
I'll entertain the people. Well, Nathan gets his apple. I'm going to read you my erotic fan fiction that I've been writing about this podcast and the many listeners involved. So it started on a cold, windy night. And that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to take a bite of this apple. I'm allergic, by the way. Ooh. Wow. I forgot how sour these are. I have not had this. I've not had a Granny, whatever, Granny Smith. I haven't had this in a while. Huh. I like it. It is very tart. It's also crunchy. It's good. Not soft and mushy. In general, fruit's just better when it's more firm and harder. That's what she said. Like bananas. Bananas are at their perfect point.
Hello?
Hi.
Something I forgot to mention was I'm kind of glad we saw that as a film instead of in person. Because I know it's an experience, but I feel like the camera work
Yep. You took the words out of my mouth.
to the film.
Yeah, because it was able to probably mimic the shots of the actual film versus you're sitting in the audience and you, if we saw that in the audience without watching the film, I would have had a miserable time because I would not have known where to look.
Well, there's that.
The camera did that for me.
You were able to really see the facial expressions and stuff instead of because we'd probably get cheapest seats which would be in like the nosedive section or nosebleed section, and we probably wouldn't be able to see nothing.
Yep, I agree. Good point. Eat your apple. I already ate mine.
Okay. How'd you like it?
I like it. I forgot how sour they are. I was also telling the people that the perfect banana is right in the middle between when they're super green and super yellow. When they kind of look like the mixture between green and yellow, that is the perfect banana. Those are trade secrets, people. They don't want you to know what I just told you.
Apple's okay.
I like it. I like it a lot, but it's not something I don't think I'd find myself eating very often. Like this is not my daily driver apple. This is like a once in a blue moon type thing.
I don't really get a strong flavor from it like I did the other one.
Oh, mine's got a lot of flavor. Super sour. I'm going to put this one on number 2, though. Even though I think I like the flavor a bit better.
This is a Granny Smith, right?
Yeah. I would not be daily driving this apple. So, number 2. Number 1 is Cosmic Crisp. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'd probably put out number 2.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Excellent. You know what else is number 2? The second topic that we're supposed to be talking about.
That you may be talking about games with a player or 2.
Oh, the sequel to Ready Player 1, Ready Player 2? Classic.
We're trying to transition to the Mario movie.
Yes. Never watched it, so I don't know why we're talking about it.
Really?
No, I'm kidding, bro. I saw it on I didn't see it on release day, no. No, yeah, I watched it. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Well, just to open, I want to say, like how it's Spirited Away, I had like some trouble getting into the film. I think with the Mario movie it was the same thing. I just wasn't in the mood to watch a film, so I don't know if I just had maybe a bit of a disinterest for the film, or maybe it was just the film. Because I liked it, but I did think it was a little bit boring. And I'm assuming that's because it's a kid's film. I'm not a child.
Well, that's what you say. But...
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I act like one.
Thanks. Finished my joke. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have the same experience. I saw it with my girlfriend. We were gonna go see Scream 6, which we actually just watched today for free. It was on Paramount, so I don't have to pay money. But the theater was booked for the time that we were gonna go, so we're like, I don't know, let's watch the Mario movie. I didn't have plans to watch it. I really didn't. It didn't look interesting from the trailers.
I wanted to see it. So I mean, I guess I'm a big Nintendo fan, but it didn't look bad.
Yes, you are.
Either.
Sure. Yeah, it didn't look bad. Just, I don't know. It looked like a kid's movie. So we just kind of said, screw it. Let's go watch it. And I had a blast. I thought it was fantastic. I'm like genuinely shocked. I don't care too much for Nintendo. I don't really care for Mario at all. But I'd be lying to you if I said I did not have a good time.
Yeah, I did think they did something very well in the film.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2D cutscenes that I guess that's a good way of putting it, but like 2D side-scrolling scenes referencing.
Yeah.
There's a 2D. They had him running around referencing the 3D Mario's, all the power-ups and stuff.
And a bunch
like
of the
that.
suits. Yeah, power-ups. Luigi's ringtone is the GameCube opening theme.
Yeah.
Super sick.
A
lot of cool stuff.
I think. Well, okay, I'll start with. I think my favorite scene was when they went to the Donkey Kong world.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, when they went to the Donkey Kong world, and
they played the DK rap.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that. That was good though. I did like that. But my favorite was when they got to the gate. That dude comes out, and he's like a big, scary looking, like ape, like kind of like Donkey Kong, and it's like, oh man, what's this guy gonna do? They're like, hey, we want to see the king, Cranky Kong. We want to see Cranky Kong. He's just like, whatever. Puts on some shades, eats a banana, starts driving around to like take on me. I didn't think take on me would help deliver such like vaporwave vibes, but the whole aesthetic was there and everything. Like he literally murdered other like monkeys and shit as he's driving them to go see Cranky. I was like, this is fantastic. I love everything that is happening right now. This is great.
Yeah, that scene was pretty cool. All the scenes with the carts, super sick. I really like that.
Yeah, they were all good actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked Donkey Kong. It was great. I liked the ending too.
Yeah, I like the ending.
They just go absolutely.
It's a little weird, but I liked it.
Super Saiyan and literally curb stomp Bowser, and they just literally kill him. Yeah. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, bro.
I mean,
Jack Black did a great. All the actors and actresses, voice actors, I thought did a pretty good job. Peach,
like all of them except for Seth Rogen. I heard him do.
You didn't like Seth Rogen's
stupid laugh, and I was like,
yeah, he did. Yeah, it did take me out of
Donkey
it.
Kong, like.
I thought Anya Joy Taylor, the lady that was in the menu, and the lady that lady that plays Peach. It felt like at times she was just reading from a script. I didn't feel like she was like putting her all into it. And
Peach was a much better character than I thought she would be.
Yeah, same. She wasn't like super girl bossed.
Yeah, she wasn't like Giga Woman. She was like, she's probably a little more overpowered than other characters, but at the same time, like she was just super supportive of Mario and she never really like took the screen away from Mario. I feel like or like belittled him in any ways.
Yeah. Yes, precisely. Which is great. And the whole Chris Pratt controversy, I was one of the many people that was like, this is a stupid choice. Why the hell would you make him Mario? Within like 2 minutes, my brain completely smoothed it over and I forgot it was Chris Pratt. So I didn't care.
Good job.
Yeah, I thought it was great. He did a fine job. My brain just accepted it almost instantly. Well, after, I think the moment my brain accepted it was after in the very beginning, there's a commercial with Mario and Luigi, and they're putting on the over-the-top Italian accents. And then after that, the commercial ends, and they're just talking like normal New Yorkers. And I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm down. That works. Yep, I like it.
Then, I think one of my favorite characters was the little blue star guy.
Yeah, that was my girlfriend's favorite character.
he was just always like super pumped, but like not
dying
for the not right. He'd be like, oh man, the only escape from our miserable existence is the sweet release of death when they drop us into the lava. And everybody's just like, brother, stop. Like, stop
Shut
it.
up, please. And then, like, when he gets saved at the end, he's like, come on.
I think to add to the humor is like he can fly anywhere, but he was also a character that's able to just fit through the birds. The birds are not close enough together in his cage to hold him in, so he could leave.
Yeah, he could have left
any time. He could probably save everybody. And he's just in the cage, like, "Hey man, we're gonna die, and I am all about this. This is fantastic."
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Jack Black did a great job.
Yeah, I was surprised how well I liked him. Peaches song, had better
Peaches.
than like the Grammy for best musical song of the year.
Can't wait.
It was a bit of a banger, not gonna lie.
It was.
It did kind of
overall,
just remind me of like a Tenacious D song though. So.
Yeah, really. I mean, anything that he sings sounds like a.
Yeah. It's not probably gonna sound like that.
The animation was great. It looks great.
And then
Cool references.
I want to say that I thought they were pretty spot on with the references. There were some things about the references that I feel like they missed opportunities. Like when they first get into the Mario world, Luigi gets separated from Mario. And then he gets separated. I was like,
I thought it was going to be a Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if they'll do Luigi's Mansion, and then he gets separated the way he does, and I'm like, are they about to do Luigi's Mansion? Like Mario's doing his thing while Luigi's over here doing Luigi's Mansion stuff.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I was getting super ready for that. He
had the flash too, like in the game. I was like, brother, I'm all about this. But they'll save that for the next film. And same thing with the babies. Cause I really like them to save the baby Marios for cause I do want to see them do like the Peach rescuing all the baby characters and stuff like that. And I think towards the end of the film they missed a good chance to have Daisy come in the screen, kind of being like, "Hey, Peach, I saw this giant flaming castle coming here. I thought you guys might need help or something." And I would be like, "Yeah, this is cool. That's a good way to introduce her in Luigi's." I was like, "Okay, that's a good way to do it." And then they didn't do that, so
they didn't.
Waiting on the tomboy spunk Daisy to come in.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I'm sure. Yeah, they're gonna make more.
You know what else?
I have to bring this. Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to bring up one more thing. I know my girlfriend will kill me, but Peach had some cheeks on her, my guy. The scene where she's on the motorcycle on Rainbow Road, the way her back arcs. This is a child's movie.
I don't think I was ever a huge Peach fan, but as I'm watching this film the entire time, there were so many moments where I was like, "Yo, bro, I get it. Like I get it.
I understand.
I finally get it, brother. Peach is the princess for every man, and every man's princess. Like, just talks the man up, helps him out, is capable on her own.
I know.
And then just banger, man. You know.
What a woman! I can't wait to see what they do with Daisy.
Brother.
She's not a child, is she? I didn't just go to jail for saying that, right?
I assumed that none of these characters were children.
Excellent. I'm not going to jail then.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, speaking of jail.
Speaking of tomboy Daisy, I was going to say the reference I think they were really missing was Mario Hoops 3-on-3. That's everybody's favorite game. Can't believe they didn't.
And
they're in Brooklyn. They had the chance.
It would have been cool.
That's how like opening scene of the second one. they're playing a game and Peach jumps off of Yoshi to dunk on like LeBron James. Uh, he's like, this is the move that made LeBron James cry and actually does it, and then he's crying. And it's just like, oh my god, they went through.
Sounds like Space Jam.
Kind of, but this is better because Space Jam was an absolute trash. I don't know if we ever talked about that. We might talk about that.
I know we've talked about it together, but I'm not sure if we've talked about it.
We might have to bring that up on the podcast.
I agree. I really thought, I guess I'll just close it with this. We can move on. Really, the only like notable gripe I could think of was at the end where Mario redirects the what's the missile called?
The bullet bill.
Yes, the bullet bill.
Yeah,
back into the warp pipe.
Sorry, but speaking of that, I watched somebody beat the game. At least in the Japanese version, they were originally called Killer, not Bullet Bill. It was Killer, and the bigger one was Magnum Killer.
Ooh, that's kind of hard.
Yeah, that goes unfathomably harder than Bullet Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Why does everything have to be dumbed down in America?
I don't know, brother.
Anyway, yeah, when he redirected it into the warp pipe, I really thought Mario was gonna 9/11 the entirety of Brooklyn.
Yeah, I
was like, how do you know?
In my head, I was like, brother, are they really making that reference in this movie? Like,
yeah, I know. I was like, how did he know it wasn't gonna go back and destroy his entire hometown? He didn't. That's a crazy risk to take.
Wait a minute, brother. Did Japan just make a film about nuking a U.S. city? X-Files theme song. And on that
note, my god,
you got some other things to talk about, like some
yes,
apples.
we do. Yes, we do. What's the next one?
I think it's a Golden Delicious. I'm gonna go run and grab that fast.
All right, and I'm gonna start eating it, and I'll entertain the people, right? So, Golden Delicious. I also haven't had this one in quite a long time. Starting to get a little brown, so maybe I'll eat this one instead. It smells like an apple. Kind of tastes like a pear. Oh god. Yeah, it kind of tastes like a pear. Do I like this? That's a good question. I don't know.
What are your thoughts on it so far?
So, I think the conclusion I'm going to have for all of these is they're all going to taste good. Like, I'm not going to hate the flavor of any, but I'll like some more, and some less. This is good, but it's not super strong on flavor, which I guess is like a good thing for some people.
Yeah, I thought
it kind of tastes like
was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It just not super strong for me. And it tastes like a pear to me. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of throwing me off. Yeah, just like, I don't know. I keep tasting pear. But again, it's not bad. I think I put it at 2.
So I'm gonna put it at 3, just because I don't really like just sweet things unless I'm like a cake or ice cream or something. For an apple, after having those ones with a little bit of sourness to them, kind of like that more right now.
Sure.
So my list was the Cosmic, the Granny Smith, and then the Golden Delicious, Golden Delight.
Golden Delicious.
Golden Delicious.
Yeah, and I'm Cosmic, Golden, and Granny.
But Justin,
2, yeah.
You do something with your hands sometimes at night, right?
maybe.
Oh, you got that new Steam deck.
Ah,
The Steam,
yeah.
because like, what do you think about this direction? 'Cause I saw a rock. I can't think about, but that rock company, they do graphics card. They also came out with their version of a Steam Deck, and we know overall, like the Nintendo Switch has been selling very well recently as like a
Yes.
portable gaming device for the masses.
Yes.
And this is all coming up at the same time while I'm still looking back and being like, man, I wonder if the 3DS still gets any support and like what
Does
type
it?
of support that is, and like if there will ever be a new one, while also thinking, like reminding myself, like, oh no, the future of handheld gaming is just changed at this point.
Yeah, it has changed. I think for the better. But,
I think
it's up to
overall
me.
it's for the better, but it doesn't quite have that same feel and aesthetic that handheld games would come with, I feel like.
I agree.
I'm not saying it's a
It might
bad
not
thing.
ever.
Like sometimes I do think it can be a bad thing, but this is just the way this was bound to happen one day, anyways.
No, yeah, no, I completely understand. It's kind of like the quality of life improvements with voice chat. We have Discord. We can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime, and that's fantastic. But the problem with that, with these lovely quality of life upgrades, because you couldn't do that in the early internet. I mean, you could, but it's difficult. No one talks in game chat anymore. Voice chat is just a barren wasteland of silence, and that sucks because if you grew
Really
up
sucks.
playing multiplayer games and in the early 2000s and everyone was talking, I would trade anything to go back to that. But because we have these quality of life improvements, that's never going to happen. And I would love for it to happen again, but that would require us going back in technology, having worse technology so we could relive glory days. It's not going to happen. With older handhelds, they were a lot less powerful and games were more crafted for the fact that this is a completely different console. So not only were the games like less powerful or less visually impressive, they were also completely different games because it's a completely different system with completely different controls. So it had a certain feel, look, and aesthetic to it. But now, with the insane quality of life improvements of the fact that I have a literal computer that I can take anywhere, that's no longer the problem. I can play the same games I play on my PC in my hands, and yes, it's awesome, but it doesn't have that same feel of like I'm playing this handheld game for the Game Boy Advance. It's only for the Game Boy Advance. I'm playing fucking Divinity Original Sin 2 on my Steam Deck. Woohoo!
And like
It's
pixel chat was a cool feature as well. It's like
oh yeah.
stuff like that you're not gonna have anymore.
No.
But can you get Discord on your Steam Deck?
Yeah. It's
so
a computer. You
have
could just
that.
switch to desktop mode. Yeah. A big reason why I wanted to talk about this was I want to go through our history. Like what consoles we've had, our thoughts and opinions, handheld wise, and if we still use any of them. So, would you like to start?
I had the DS and 3DS. Played my Pokemans on there. Probably a few other games as well. I've always enjoyed it. I was able to play Custom Robo on there. I still think back to that, playing like Custom Robo. That game is sweet. I wish they would make another one.
Oh yeah. You can always emulate it.
Yeah, but I want like a new one. Is the thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think it's time, especially on the Switch. Like, they
Maybe
actually
cool.
might have that in Japan. Now that I think about it.
Oh, that's sick.
I don't
I've never played
think
that
they
game.
do though, because I haven't seen anybody play it. They might have said something about it. I can't remember.
Okay, fair.
It's a sick game though. And I do have a Nintendo Switch. I never really took it on the go before. It's just a little big, and plus I have like a phone, so I could just use that. And I'm really bored or whatever.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it.
Did you still like, the things that you've had or have?
Yeah, I still like them. I still have them. Haven't used them in a while. I got probably charge like anything if I want to use it.
Mhm. Yeah.
They did have some good memories. Oddly enough, I don't
Yeah.
really remember playing using it on the go too often. They always is a little bit too bulky, in my opinion,
Fair.
to like want to carry around.
That's fair.
It was nice when like go to my grandparents' house and they don't have my GameCube or a computer for me to play on. And I just bring my DS and use it like that.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Let me think back. I think the first one I ever had was a Game Boy Advance.
Actually, the first one I had was Game Boy Color.
I think the first one I ever used was a color, but it wasn't mine. I loaned it from my uncle.
The first one I ever used. The first one I ever had. But I think my grandfather, when he was working as a high school teacher, a kid got it confiscated and then just never got it back. So he was like, "Hey, do you want this?" And I was like, "Of course I want it."
That's sick.
Got Pokemon in it.
That's so. Ooh, excuse me. That's awesome. That's a good deal. So let's see. I had a Game Boy Advance, not a SP, the regular one. It was purple. I think it was see-through plastic.
Well,
I could be wrong.
The see-through ones.
Yes, super cool. I genuinely can't tell you the games that I played on that.
There's so many.
I remember
games on.
Oh yeah, the only one I can remember is a weird game that I guarantee maybe 10 people have ever heard of, and maybe 3 people have ever played. I can't remember any other games, but the one game I can remember from my Game Boy Advance era, there's an old, I guess I'm going to call it an arcade racer, even though it's technically not. There's an old arcade racer from the early 2000s called Smashing Drive. It's not Crazy Taxi. It's going to sound like Crazy Taxi, but you play as a taxi, and it's the whole goal. Shut up. The whole point is to get from point A to point B. They're linear levels, and like Crazy Taxi's open world.
Oh, is that like
you gotta get there as quick as you can.
Cyber Taxi?
Cyber Taxi.
It is a Crazy Taxi like sequel, but it's cyber and you do it, but you also go 3D, so you go on the Y-axis, now up and down, as well as left to right.
Whoa. That sounds interesting.
Wasn't that popular? You get on Steam though.
Interesting. I'm gonna look into that. No, it's not that. It's just like linear point A, point B. There were power-ups, shortcuts that you could use. I loved it. For whatever reason, I was obsessed with this game as a child. And so much so, it actually led to my obsession of Crazy Taxi accidentally. That's another story for another day. Anyway, the game was ported to GameCube and I think original Xbox. And for whatever reason, they also made a GBA port. I had the GBA port before any of the other ones. I really, really like foamed at the mouth for the GameCube port. Eventually, I got a GameCube just for that. But until then, I had the GBA port of this obscure arcade racer that 3 people have played, now on the GBA. And I had a blast. After that, I got myself, after, again, lusting after it for so long, Jesse McCartney, the old singer, he's not old, but his music's now a little bit old, had a commercial with one of these things, a PSP. God, I wanted one so bad. I would have done anything. I would have committed crimes. They were sick. Still, I'd classify it as my favorite handheld to this day out of any of the other ones I've had or have. And I recently busted it out maybe about a year or 2 ago. So it's still great. All the games still hold up. I had this awesome Rocky Balboa game where it's just third-person boxing. So much fun.
Like Punch-Out?
Burnout game. Kind of like Punch-Out, but a little more realistic. I had a Burnout game. A Need for Speed Carbon. When I played, I think the one I probably played the most was Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. Oh my God. Incredible. And then shout out to also arcade racers that not a lot of people have played. Pursuit Force 1 and 2. Incredible games. Incredible. There's so much good games on the PSP. It's insane. I love that thing. I need to play it more. After that, I graduated to the PS Vita in hopes that it would have been like just a even sicker version of the PSP, because that's what it looked like it was going to be. And because of the fact that it like died in like 2 seconds, I never got to see its full potential. But like it did. It's a shame. When I used it, it was cool.
Did you have
the graphics?
One game where it was like the Gravity game.
Gravity Rush?
I don't think that was the name of it. It was like you play like some anime chick. She's doing gravity.
Yeah, Gravity Rush.
Yeah. Did you have that game?
Yeah. I think I do.
I think that was the game that made me really want a PS Vita. I played like that sample of it at Gravity Rush. I played the sample of it at Walmart, and I was like, "This is sick. I just want to play.
It's sick.
This game."
Yeah, it was a fun game. Yeah, I do have it. I'm 90% certain I own that game. What else do I have? I think the one I played the most was Wipeout 2042. I had some weird third-person shooter and a couple other games I can't remember off the top of my head. But the PS Vita, in retrospect, is really cool. It was really ahead of its time. It had some cool social features. It had a camera on the back. Great front firing stereo speakers, an OLED display. The display, well, at least the launch model, it's gorgeous. Great graphics. Some of the games look like PS3 games. Oh yeah, Uncharted Lost Legacy, the Uncharted Vita only game. It looks like a PS3 game. Great graphics for a handheld. I should play it more, or like jailbreak it to emulate stuff on it, but I'm way too lazy to do that. And now, lastly, we've graduated to the Steam Deck. I briefly had a Switch for a couple years. I barely used it. I don't really care for Nintendo, like I said before. So I sold it. And I got my deck, which is what I wanted out of the Switch, but didn't get. It's incredible. I don't use it a lot, even though I paid a lot of money for it. And it's not because it's one of those things where you spend a lot of money and you're like, yeah, it's great. And then you never use it. No, I love it. But I just don't play handhelds in my house. And I'm never going on like trips often enough to take it. You know, at most I'm going 15 minutes down the street to go to Applebee's with my parents. I'm not going to take it on the ride, you know, to the restaurant or whatever. But I will take it every single time I go on vacation. And last time I went to Utah with the boys, we always used to bring Nintendo Switches and play Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers ad nauseum. Like, I got sick of them. I hated it, to be brutally honest. But now we had the deck and we played literally anything and everything, and it was incredible. My dreams finally came true. I could play any single game I want anywhere. It's so cool. And I've been meaning to set up emulation on it. A friend of mine set it up a while ago, but I just haven't messed around with it too much. But the little bit I have, I've been playing a couple PS3 games on it, and it runs flawlessly. The Steam Deck is so cool. I'd like to use it more, but that would require me to go on vacation more, and I can't really do that. So it doesn't get used a lot, but when it gets used, I love it every time. And that's it.
How do you feel about that new rock one, though? It's supposed to have all the metal.
What the hell is it called? Is it made by? Who's it made by?
That company, Rock.
Oh yeah.
Rock.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Rock.
Oh, Asus.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know why I kept saying Rock. Yeah, the Asus or Rock. I was thinking of a different company. That's why.
Oh yeah, the ROG Ally.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, unfortunately. I've seen pictures of it. I mean, the only thing I could judge is the appearance, and I think it looks cool. I don't really know. Let me see if I can get the specs real quick. ROG. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm super excited for the competition of Steam Decks.
I was thinking,
and the
Apple will
future
make
Steam
one that
Decks.
cannot play like anything because it has Apple iOS instead.
Yeah, that's gonna be so stupid. Okay, so it's gonna be $700 for a 16 gigabyte RAM, 512 gigabyte memory. Okay, but like, what's inside of it? AMD processor. I don't know crap about AMD processors.
Did it say
the Ryzen Z1 Extreme and the Ryzen Z1.
Oh, that's
The Z1 Extreme is 8 cores, 16 thread. That's respectable. And 8.6 teraflops. And the Ryzen Z1 is 6 core, 12 thread, 2.8 teraflops. And this GPU is a AMD RDNA3. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about chips for handhelds and stuff. I don't know if that's better. I don't know if that's worse, but it looks cool. And the more competition, the better. So I'm down. I'm not going to buy it because I already spent too much money on a Steam Deck. But yeah, I'm down.
That
Hey.
could help save your wallet.
No.
Eat some apples. Don't gotta go to the doctor as often.
You're right.
Oh, try some of this. Is the red delicious?
No, these are pizzazz.
Oh,
That is a real.
isn't
That's a real apple. Smells like an apple. Excuse me. I'm sorry. This is a gross episode. Ooh. This is very similar to a Gala apple. Gala apples are my daily driver. If I were to compare the two, I'd say this is like a touch sweeter Gala apple. I'd say Gala apple's maybe like a 50-50 sweet and sour blend. This is like a 60-40 sweet sour. And I dig it. I like this a lot.
That's
What
good.
about you?
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, this is really good.
It's got a
Yeah.
strong taste. It's got
yeah,
a crispiness to it.
Yeah, this is great. I'm going to put this at number one. Easy. So my final will be Pizzazz. The other red one, the Cosmic Crisp. Granny, and then Golden Delicious. What about you?
I think I like the Cosmic better than the Pizzazz, then Granny, and then Golden Delicious.
What puts the Cosmic on top?
I think I just like the overall taste of it more, I think. It's been a while since I had it. Now about an hour now, so I can't really recall it exactly. I just think when I took that first bite, I enjoyed it a little more.
That is fair.
Just basing it off of that.
That's fine. Well, I do know something that could help recall your memory.
Oh,
If I hired a certain, I don't know, private security firm to send their goons out to your house and unreasonably shake you down violently and put a gun to your head.
Dunes.
What
What
are we talking
you
about?
have not heard, it was a YouTuber. He likes Magic the Gathering cards, and he oftenly opens sealed products, especially when they come out. It's Magic. Recently, a few weeks ago, they had a new.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm going to run into the kitchen and put these in the fridge.
Okay.
So just continue talking and then
Okay.
I'll be back in a sec.
Oh yeah, but came out with a new set, and he ordered to get a few boxes of it. And the set was called March of the Machines. And what he got sent was March of the Machines, the Aftermath, which is apparently a different thing. Nobody knew about it at the time, so whoever he ordered it from looked at it, probably couldn't tell the difference because like the boxes really look similar. They have basically the same exact name. And the company sent that to him. He got that. He also didn't notice the difference. Like just nobody knows that this is different at all. And so he opened it, did a review of it, posted that to YouTube. And March of the Machines Aftermath, I can't remember if I said it or not, it was a completely different set no one knew about. And Wizards of the Coast was very unpleased by this, that he would dare spoil the courage that he received and he thought was what he ordered because that's what they sent him. And so the immediate first response is they will hire the Pinkertons to go to his house and retrieve the products back. The Pinkertons, for those who do not know, is like Justin said, like a private security firm. Have you played Red Dead Redemption 1? They were the villains in that game, and these guys are just like a cartoonishly evil business that has been around for hundreds of years. It's fully known for going overboard in intimidation tactics. Like, I think back in the day, they would literally be breaking into people's houses, type of stuff like that, like breaking arms and stuff. And
Wasn't it?
sorry, what?
I'm sorry. Wasn't it Red Dead 2?
It might be both. I think it was the first one though. I
First one's
don't know.
better.
I didn't play the second one.
hot
It's
take.
been a while since I played the first one.
Oh, great game. Anyway, continue.
But so yeah, Richard sent the Pinkertons to this guy's house and made a video talking about how he woke up. His like wife is like crying. These dudes were just in there, just full on with the intimidation. Just like threatening him, being like, "Hey, if you don't give us back the courage, you will go to jail," type of stuff. It's a complete shakedown. Like they took the courage back, and he calls Wizards of the Coast, and he's like, "Yeah, I called them. When I called them, they were super nice about it, probably because he's no longer dealing with the Pinkertons. But they're super nice about it. They offered to replace the product, and the whole situation is just absurdly blown out of the wild, especially with the fact that the courage he received and reviewed or showed, Wizards of the Coast was planning to they themselves spoil the courage 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
So he beat them to the punch by 2 weeks because someone, I'm not sure if he tried to get it supplied through Wizards of the Coast or through like a middleman somehow, but he just got the wrong thing. I didn't know about it. They didn't try to call him because I don't really watch these videos. I heard his name before, but he really seems like the type of dude where they called him and was like, "Hey, you take down the video, send us back those courage, and then we'll send you what you were supposed to have." Probably would have just been like, "Yeah, sure, I don't mind doing that. We can do that." They just didn't try at all. The immediate first reaction is just, "Hey, you send the Pinkertons."
Yeah, it's like I said, it's cardboard. I like I don't get it.
I don't
Like,
understand
and
how you drop such a pure nightmare on yourself like this.
does he have grounds to like take legal action? Probably
I
not.
think he does.
He should.
I
That's
I think
crazy.
that's why they were nice when he called them instead of just dismissing him, is because they were like, "Oh, no, he probably could shoot the shit out of us for us sending like almost hitmen just to threaten him and force him to give us back something he bought." Like like that. Like his wife was literally crying when they came. I think he would have grounds for a lawsuit. That's what everybody
Is there?
has been saying too.
Yeah, I would assume. I would hope. Are there? Is there? What am I trying to say? Any updates?
Not that I've seen. So I just wanna probably mention this. The dude who it happened to, his YouTube account is Old School MTG. I'm at his YouTube right now. So he has Sorry, it's taking a while. Yeah, he has two videos about it. One of them was just hey, the Pinkertons really did come to my house. The second is like, I guess, kind of like a disclaimer, being like, hey, just be careful when you're listening to the third party media. You know, guys like us. Just
Interesting.
probably to
See one of the
try and
videos.
not have a bunch of lies floating around while he's trying to figure out the best way to deal with the situation, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, man,
Yeah, the
Archie recently has just been killing their PR.
the top comment says, "Lawyer up. If they have the money to hire mercenaries, then they have money to pay you for damages. Don't accept any free boosters or any kind of apology." I agree.
I I still just don't understand. Like Wizards of the Coast is, I don't know how they're just so consistently bad at their PR. Like
What were some other instances where they really screwed the pooch?
so, Wizards of the Coast also owns Dungeons and Dragons. Um, they tried to push a new like policy. I'm not sure exactly. I couldn't find a good description of the actual policy, and I also just didn't read it myself, I guess. But basically, what it was saying is any third party stuff made for Dungeons and Dragons, they would somehow be able to claim profits from it. This included just like different sets made for people, like when they're playing the tabletop and they make actual like miniatures and miniature like I guess castles and like terrain and stuff. They could claim profits off of that. Same thing with Critical Role. They would be able to claim profits off of their YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that had a huge blowback from everybody because I mean a huge part of it is of Dungeons and Dragons. People play it the way they want to. They go out and they get like the courage and anything else that they want to, or whatever else they want to use for it. And there's lots of third parties and wizards and just being greedy and be like, oh, a bunch of people are making money off of this. We're not fully capitalizing on this. About instead of making our own stuff, we just take the money from other people. Wouldn't that just be the best way to go?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, brother,
Such a kind.
dropping the ball so hard. You could
They
be
clearly
the
love the
biggest
community.
babyface company out there, like one of the biggest. You're just killing it.
I hope they get sued. I really do.
I kind of was there too. They kind of had it coming.
Yeah, they
I still love playing
definitely.
Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. Man, they just do some shit.
That's I still can't like I, I, I can't believe it. I ever since you first told me, I'm like, this is so comically bizarre.
Yeah, like the Pinkertons tried to sue Rockstar Games over their depiction and Red Dead Redemption because they're like, oh, we're tired of being the bad guys, trying to be made out to be the villains. But then, like, this happened.
Yeah.
I feel like this has just, especially the way they handle it, like they were just nothing but villains in everybody's eyes right now.
That's incredible. I got to do some more research on these people. I'd like to see all the other heinous acts that they've
Yeah, I would like
committed
to
for
really.
people.
I meant to do a deep dive of this. I kept forgetting to really go into it, but I want to do an actual deep dive into it and just see what they really were up to.
Yeah, I I agree. That's something we should do. Um, that could be. We haven't done the segment in a while, but we could turn that into a history segment.
Other than that, is
I
there anything
wouldn't mind
else
doing that.
for this episode?
This specific topic, no. This episode, I don't think so. Outside of the normal closing spiel. Thanks for listening. We have a Twitter. It's completely barren still.
True.
At whole lotta PC. Maybe follow it. That would be cool. If you don't, I'm gonna hire Pinkertons.
Watch out.
I have a YouTube channel, Super Seal Man 777. I am in the process of making a big old video that it'll probably get 20 views, and I'll question why I still make these things. So maybe make it have 21. I'd appreciate that. And last but not least, I will say this maybe once or twice. I created with a friend of mine a brand new Instagram page where me and him are going to try and create brand new original car content per month. If you'd like to give that a follow, the account name is b.rez.mov. There's one video on it now. There will hopefully be another one within the next couple days. I'm just waiting for the account I'm trying to collaborate with to accept. So, yeah, that's fun. It's about it, right? I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else either.
Okay. Make sure to subscribe to Nathan's OnlyFans and have a blessed evening.
Have a good one, everybody.
Okay. Bye.